Welcome.
Hey, it's Big Legend, homie.
Tired of the narrative always being changed? I'm here to correct the narrative. Keep that real honest talk. Real talk. No yes men over here. I know you tell your news. Telling any wrong narrative, pushing the wrong agenda. Well, Twins Inc., we're going to try to aim to fix those narratives. Give everybody a better understanding. Let's go. Welcome. Good morning, everybody. Good brunch, good lunch, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whatever time this is that you tune in today, the Twins Inc. Talk, I just want to say thank you. Want to say thank you, because you could be anywhere else. Heck, you could still be sleeping, my opinion. Okay? So, people, we're going live today. As you see, the topic that we'll be discussing today, and it's going to be losing Chadwick Bosman. So I have a special guest who's joining us today by the name of Sherri, and she's on IG as Bodywright. So she's in fitness, but just give it a second here, waiting for her to join in with us so we can get this thing rolling. Get your tea, get your coffee, get your water. If it's tea, make sure it's green tea. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it healthy. Maybe coffee too. Maybe black if you just want to get that good flush, because that's what it's going to do. Give me 1 second here. One check. 1 second here, people. Just waiting for her to join. There we go. One, two. How everybody doing? What's going on? Hello, microphone check. Can you hear me?
Now I hear you. You're sounding a little low, but now you're good.
Okay. Yeah. You're loud and clear. So good morning once again. How you doing, Sherri?
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful. This beautiful young lady, she resides in New York. You know what I'm saying, and she has a lot of things going on her plate. I've met her through IG. So social media is really good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I love what she's doing with her fitness and her speaking. She has topics every week that's like, wow, blow me away. So I was like, you know what? I had to get on the show because, most time when I'm talking or on my other show, the Chop Team, just me and the fellas. So it's always good to get a woman's point of view, perspective as well. Because me, I like keeping it real. I don't want it to be one-sided at all. And sometimes the conversation may get a little heated, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's okay to disagree as long as we come back together, right? You know what I'm saying? And hear everybody's thoughts. So this morning, this week was probably an unexpected, tough week for the Black nation, Black people, period, across the board. We lost one of our brothers by the name of Mr. Chadwick Bosman. And for everybody who really knows him, he played the lead role in the movie Black Panther as T'Challa, the king of Wakanda. So as you see, I am rocking my Wakanda shirt. So if anybody's on IG or if you're on YouTube or Twitch, you see the shirt rocking it right now. Wakanda forever. It is. But the reason why, because the man has done a lot of great movies, so it's not really based on Black Panther overall. I mean, his catalog is phenomenal. He played the God. Right. He plays 42, which is Jackie Robinson, another Black powerful athlete who had to deal with racism in the real world. Because we know Black Panther is a comic book Marvel thing. You know what I'm saying? Fictional, I guess, whatever you want to call it, right? But it still hits home for us as far as like Africa or how we wish it should be, or it might be. We just don't never know. You know what I'm saying? You dig far enough, you never know. There might be a Wakanda somewhere. But
That was the point. That was the point in the movie, right? That it wasn't obvious to the eye.
Right, because technically it was in Africa, just we didn't know where it was at. But the reason why it's pretty tough right now for losing him and for that role iconic role he played in Black Panther is that when I was growing up as a young little boy, I love comic books and superheroes as a little kid and even now as an adult. But when I was growing up, my favorite superheroes when I was young, little Wayne, little boy, was Spider-Man, Batman, Flash. Those were my superheroes growing up, which was pretty cool. But the one thing that stuck out to me is like, there was no black superheroes. So, the fact that we had Black Panther and our first real black hero that didn't really have any other flaws. We got Blade, right? But Blade was a bloodsucker. He was a vampire. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he was a hero, but it's like, he's a day walker. He got to be a vampire. Something wrong got to be with him. You know what I'm saying? He just can't be a regular, or other black heroes were sidekicks. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he was the head, the smartest guy in the world, technology afar than everybody, because my kids love Black Panther. My son and daughter love Black Panther. Not just him, but the whole movie, the whole embodiment of it. So that's their hero as far as their superhero growing up. And, Black Panther was a man, but in the movie, we had, women in the movie. And if you pay attention, Black Panther, his army were women, strong women, powerful women. So, it's those are some of the things there that is just like so impactful of losing him. But, Sherri, I don't want to just keep talking the whole time. Give me your thoughts on that as well. Chime in,
Well, the first thing I guess that stuck out to me was the fact that he was suffering with cancer for the last 4 years.
4 years.
And, so Black Panther happened obviously in that time frame. And you just say, like, one, you never know what people are suffering with and dealing with in silence, right?
Facts.
But also the tremendous strength that takes, because from what I was reading, he was diagnosed with colon cancer stage in the third stage.
Yes. When
he was diagnosed. So it was already pretty far advanced. And to understand that the role that he was undertaking, right? The commitment to that role, even though going to chemo and doing and taking, I'm sure, these medications that physically make you sick, is just amazing in itself. And then for it to come out and to be everything that it was, just kind of, I think it speaks to so many different things, and probably just, not probably, I would argue, and don't know him personally, but to the spirit of, Mm-hmm. And that's why I was able to have that type of impact, because it was more than just a role. It was so much bigger than that.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, and if you saw the video that I posted recently, when I was having the issue with the Spider-Man and my godson, and I was like, okay, I gotta find something to replace this with, and I went and I replaced it with Black Panther, as he called him, Black Pamper. But he loved it. Like, even like a couple of days ago, when I saw him, he's walking around with his Black Panther, and I think that a lot of times we don't realize, like you said, as children, because all we knew was the superheroes that were white, and there wasn't even anything that we necessarily said was racist about it. But when you really sit back and think about it, it's like, so Black people can't be superheroes? There's only white superheroes, and like you said, there are other superheroes that have color to them, but they're not representative of people who actually look like us.
Facts.
And so Black Panther was iconic and historic for all of those reasons. And, to lose that, especially when we know there's supposed to be more to this series, is devastating,
Very devastating. Very, 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 very. I mean, and then, last week I talked about Black health as well, black mental health for black men as well. So, it's when you think about this year, forget 2020. 2020 is probably the worst year ever in my lifespan. It's still going, God willing.
For most of us.
Right. But I mean, when you think about it, beginning of the year, we lost Black Mamba, which everybody know that's Kobe Bryant. And 7 months later, we lose Black Panther. I mean, I'm ready to hit the restart button or just get to 2021 or something, because, I mean, we can't take any more losses. We don't want to take any losses.
Very similar, very close in age, too, like young men.
Yeah, very young.
Kobe and Chadwick, very young. And in unfortunate manners, like, to cancer, to a tragic accident. These are like, amongst all that we're dealing with when it comes to the plight of black people in this country.
You already know.
On top of it, to lose, two iconic people is hard.
Right, and not to take away
devastating blows. And I mean, not just them, because I mean, obviously we lost John Lewis too, but it's not, it's talking about people from our generation, I guess.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, that's even tough. Right. That's even tough, because even when you think about it right now, we still dealing, because rest in power for them, but we still here, and we still have the daily fight every day. I mean, we just last Sunday, I didn't know this. The same day the guy got shot in the back, Jacob, by the cops, and he's now paralyzed from the waist down. That happened that same day. I didn't know until later on that day that happened. So, we're still dealing with the struggle of being black. Simple as that. You know what I'm saying? So on top of black men getting shot every other week or every other month, you know what I'm saying, we're losing black men too on top of that. Like I said, cancer and all that stuff. But it's like, whew, when we can get that moment to breathe, you know what I'm saying? When we get a chance, it's like, just, okay, today's going to be a good day. Turn on the news, nothing bad. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah.
Yeah, no such luck. Why do you think that he chose not to disclose his fight with cancer?
I couldn't answer. But one thing I can say, his camp or his family, whoever, for 4 years, nobody knew that he had it. Like, that's, I mean, come on now. We have our friends that can't hold water. let's be honest.
Can't hold water. Your mama gonna tell your auntie. Your auntie gonna tell somebody.
So the fact that he kept that to himself, wow. I mean, for me as a black man and being stubborn or whatever, I'm a type of man. Me personally, I'm not speaking for all men. I'm speaking for me only. I'm a prideful person, right? So, whatever case may be, let's say I needed something, right? I would rather fight whatever I'm going through, struggle whatever I need to do to make ends meet before I ask somebody for any help, because I'm that type of prideful man. I'm not saying that's what he did. I'm just speaking from a black man. Like, why wouldn't I? I mean, I'm sure his family knew, his mother knew. I didn't. Those people knew, but I'm talking about people outside the circle. Why you didn't tell them? Because maybe he didn't want to deal with every time. Are you okay? How you feeling? Anything I could do? All day people constantly, like, it's already in his mind already. He's thinking about it. He's already stressed about it. He's already just drinking the right foods and, drinking teas and stuff, but not just regular tea. He probably drinking stuff that don't taste good at all because he's trying to detox and clean his body at the same time, right? Absolutely. So he's dealing with that. He don't want to feel like dealing with outside people. And come on now, he's Black Panther. If that was on the news, that'd be the topic almost every day. You know what I'm saying? How he's doing. Anytime you go to the hospital, what's going on? Is he okay? I mean, when I saw his pictures from the last couple of years before he passed away, I thought he was preparing for another role. I didn't think nothing.
Yeah.
Me personally,
they kind of let that be the narrative when they saw that he was so small.
Right.
That he maybe was preparing for the role, because remember when 50 was doing his
right.
it was very reminiscent of that.
Exactly.
Right? But obviously, 50 was playing a cancer patient, I believe.
Right.
And Chadwick was actually
the patient.
So yeah, I mean, I always want. I was thinking about that too. That maybe it was pride, or maybe just not wanting to, or just a level of relentlessness. Like, so yeah, this is not going to define me. I'm going to continue to go, and so I don't want to be like, oh, Chadwick, you have cancer. You know, like not wanting that. But 4 years of dealing with that, and still able to film Black Panther, I think and 21 Bridges, because 21 Bridges is more recent.
Oh, yeah.
And what's the Spike Lee movie?
What?
Five Bloods?
Yeah, the Five Bloods. That's the movie. It's on Netflix right now, people. So check it out. I didn't check it out yet, but I'm definitely gonna check it out. The Five Bloods. But I mean, let's think about it for a minute. Let's talk about his catalog for a minute. The movies that he played. So starting in 2013, he played 42 with Jackie Robinson. James Brown, 2014. He played a god in Egypt, which is one of the smartest gods, if you follow that mythology, whatever you want to call it. But he was the only black god, but he was the smartest one, right? Then The Message from the King. Now, if y'all didn't see that, that's really good. That's really good. I mean, I'll give you a little quick. He's a cop, but we don't know that till like the end of the movie, whatever. But he's from Africa, right? Not Wakanda, but he's from Africa. But he comes to the state to find his sister, and I'm gonna stop there. It's really good. And then Marshall, that was a good one. If you didn't see that, of course, Black Panther 2018. 21 Bridges was really good, and then The Five Bloods. Now, the reason why I speak of his catalog, he's playing strong, black, powerful men.
Right.
Okay? And as you know, in this Hollywood that we have here in America, most of our black men are feminized. You know, either they got dressed up as women, or they got to play a role where they're testing their sexuality. You know what I'm saying? So it's trying to like depower the man, right? And that's a whole nother thing. We talk about slavery and going back, but we're not today. But when you think about his catalog, this man, as a black man, played a powerful role in all his movies, which gives you like, it's kind of like he's in the same footsteps as Denzel Washington, right? If you look at Denzel Washington's movie catalog, he has nothing but powerful movies. You don't see him on time.
Yeah, nothing's gonna top Malcolm X, right? Like,
right,
nothing's gonna top Malcolm X.
Right.
Yeah.
All his movies.
Training Day is a good movie, but when you talk about a biopic, nothing tops Malcolm X.
Facts. And then, and if you want to do any little blemish to Denzel, right? It could be Training Day because he played a crooked cop, right?
Yeah, but he played the hell out of the crooked cop.
King Kong ain't got nothing on me. But no, for real though. But like, right, facts. But outside of that, I mean, that was still a good movie. But it's a shame he had to play a crooked role to get the Emmy Award or Grammy Award, whatever award it was. That's a whole nother one. That's a whole nother topic. But still on top of that, but like I said, that's still a great movie. But all his movies have been phenomenal. I don't care how you chop it up. So it was kind of like Denzel was actually not saying they had conversation like that, but it's like he was passing the mental to him to carry it on as a black powerful actor that the young men can see as leaders, and like you don't have to sell for anything to get into Hollywood, right? You don't have to play certain roles. You don't have to be, you can still have ethic, and you could be a
strong black man and still be successful. You don't have to. I was watching that a video about this because of the whole Terry Crews thing, right? And you know how they've been coming for Terry Crews,
right?
And there was another actor, I can't remember his name, I see his face, but he was saying that that's one of the things he regrets. He regrets the day he put on a dress.
Brandon T. Jackson.
Yeah.
I follow him too.
And it's true because he's saying like, just seemed like something happened, like everything in his life started to fall apart, right? And here you have, and even when you listen to Chadwick in interviews, he says that, he's been offered a whole lot, like hundreds of biopics, especially after 42. And he turned a lot of them down because he wanted to do things that resonated with him. Because, if you're really an actor and you're really serious about your craft, you're going to do something that you can really put your all in, that you feel like, okay, I left it all on the screen, right? And, to think about, he was talking about even like the Thurgood, right? Now, Thurgood, we all know, is a very fair-skinned man. It's not, so he said that he struggled with that at first because he's like, well, he didn't want to catch the flack for like him being a little bit more melanated trying to play Thurgood Marshall. But I don't think anybody even really questioned that.
No.
Because of the effort and the energy that came with it. And I think that's where the tremendous loss is that, you know, he, like you said, when you're talking about a strong black lead, a strong black actor, we need those. We need those Chadwicks. And so to lose him when it's like, it seemed like there was so much steam behind him is just very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, because we know with the media going on now, the younger generation, they follow these clowns that do whatever in the media. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they make it seem like, you know, snitching is cool or whatever. It's cool being shot and all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's just that, you know, the young folks are going with that wave. So to have someone who's not with the yes man wave and creating his own wave means a lot. And that's why losing Chadwick was a big loss to the black community altogether. Just point blank, period. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, outside. Do you think say that again?
Do you think that I know for the storyline of it, there has to be another Black Panther. How that's gonna go off without Chadwick? Okay,
so I'm a comic book head, right? So it can still go on. Now it's not gonna be the same because. Right. It's just, you know, there's certain characters play a role. You see him, that's what he is. Like for Hugh Jackman, I see him, he's Wolverine. I don't care. You can tell me whatever it is. I see Hugh Jackman, he's Wolverine. If I see Neo, or I'm sorry, Keanu Reeves, every time I see him, he's Neo. I don't care how many movies he played the hell out of John Wick. Hey, Neo, what's going on, man?
He did.
There's certain roles that people play, and that's who he is. I don't care. But yes, for Black Panther 2.
Is that fair to whoever comes behind Chadwick? I mean, to be honest, it's ginormous shoes to try to fill to come behind him. And even if you get a solid actor, it's like, yeah, but that ain't Chadwick.
I mean, I know, right?
You know, that's a fake Black Panther. That's like when they replaced the first Vivian, right? Like it was like, nah, that's not the real Vivian from Fresh Prince. Like,
no, it's just
she's
not.
Cool and everything, but that's not the real one.
Right, so, right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean,
I wondered, you know, about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough. I don't know how they're going to change the story, but I mean, you figure after the snap happened, I mean, he came back and fought, but then they can change something to happen there. But I mean, in the comic book, his sister, Sherri, she actually takes over as Black Panther in the future, you know, so she can take over. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's just like, I'm ready for Black Panther 2, but it's like, oh man. I mean, it's still going to sell, but it's like, whoever takes that role to play that actor, just know it's nothing against you, sir. We thank you for stepping up to the table.
Exactly.
Listen, ain't nothing against you, brother.
It's gonna come with the territory.
Yeah, right. It's nothing against you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for, you know, stepping up and taking that role, and you know, because you know you're gonna get a lot of flack, but you're not Chad. But we love you though. We're gonna support you. I'm going to see the movie again, probably 2 or 3 times like I did last year, or you know, when it came out 18, I'm just watching.
I think Black Panther, so I probably know all the words. The couple times I've seen Black Panther.
Hey, listen, yesterday we watched it yesterday. We sat there and watched the movie, and
you have to. I was saying that today. I'm like, I gotta watch it. Like, you know,
and the scene when he meet his father for the first time after he, you know, becomes Black Panther, it's going to hit different. It's going to hit different watching it again. Like, oh my goodness. It's going to hit different.
Wow,
a lot
right?
of scenes, when you watch it again, a lot of it's going to hit different. Watch it again, like, man, we need to find out Herb, man. We need to bring him back ASAP. Let's go.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. You know, I was listening also to a while back when he was on the Breakfast Club, and he was, you know, he's from South Carolina.
Right.
And that, you know, he absolutely experienced racism. And, you know, of course, I would imagine, he didn't say it so plainly, but that helps you kind of connect when you're playing such roles like James Brown or Jackie Robinson or Thurgood Marshall, because you grew up in the South, right?
Right.
So, and then you grew up in he was describing what was a racist city, a small town in South Carolina, but that he experienced definitely like overt and covert racism growing up. And how he was able to channel that. And what's funny, I think Charlamagne asked him, like, did he over-identify with any of the roles or anything like that? And I think he said something along the lines of like he learned from each one, like how to manage now today.
Okay.
You know, so like he learned from the story of James Brown how to be a better businessman. He learned from like the triumph of Jackie Robinson and Thurgood Marshall. Like, you know, he used those stories and used his portrayals actually to be a better man. And that's why those roles are so iconic. But then also that who he was off screen was also a solid person, because if it didn't match, it would almost, or not match, because that's kind of a hard thing to live up to.
Right.
But if he wasn't a solid person,
genuine,
then it would have undermined the impact of those movies, because it's kind of like when I watched oh my goodness, Kerry Washington, Scandal.
Okay.
Right? So I used to love Scandal. And then when, what's his name, Harrison, he got into all the issues off campus with domestic violence and drugs and all of that, it kind of like undermined, like, it changed the impact that he had, because it's like, dang, bro, like, why you gotta be on some stuff, you know?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, if Chadwick had any type of issues like that were like pervasive or prevalent, it would have absolutely been a stain to what the impact that those movies had. And because he didn't have that, at least that we know of, it was able for the movies and those roles to be as iconic as they are. And him leaving with them being on top like that is actually pretty dope, you know?
Yeah.
His legacy on and off the screen is solid. Yeah, solid.
That's it right there. He didn't have any that we know of, right? And I pray nothing comes out, right? But that man had no blemish. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like, oh, he had woman problems or gambling problems, or he did this when he was young.
Yeah, they said his wife, that he's married.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's married.
Yeah. I believe, I'm not so sure, but that's why I said woman, 'cause I'm not sure. But, I mean, still, the man didn't have any legal problems outside. And that's what, like, for me, gravitate for me to certain, you know, to him. You know, for me, there's certain actors that I like on screen and off screen. Like Omar Epps is my other favorite black actor as well. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain, I mean, it's not too many black actors I like, because they play a role like, yeah, I'm this black guy, cool guy, this and that, and then go home, then have a snow bunny. Like, what? Okay, that's not, I want to follow theirs, so nah.
I mean, that's a whole nother.
It is. And I ain't trying to go on a rabbit hole, but I'm just speaking for me personally, why I gravitate more to liking Boswell, because you know his integrity. You know what I'm saying? Not that I'm looking for a role model, but if I look at someone out there famous and that I kind of want to like, oh man, he's doing this and this, I'm gonna follow him, and I follow him personally, like of course IG page, and I follow him personally, like okay, these are people I want to see on a daily basis that I can kind of relate to, and you know, if he says this, and you know, just mental, you know, just that leadership role. You know what I'm saying? So if like you said, where his movies match up to what we do in real life, so that's what gravitates.
Yeah, because I think that, you know, a lot of pressure comes when you have such an iconic role. So you're like have this first like black superhero, this leading role, there's all this media around it. If you would be like if you would have had any type of scandal, they would have tried to diminish that he played and what that meant for black people, right? And so it is important that there wasn't any of that major stuff happening, because I think at the end of the day, not that I'm going to always argue that there's a conspiracy theory, but it does seem that when we have people that are this level of, you know, iconic, or these moments, that there is something that they try to find to cloud it. And we didn't have that. And I think that's what makes it even better. That's what makes it even sweeter. It's like, yeah, we, you know, don't even try to come through here with that.
Right.
You know,
we ain't trying to hear none of that.
Here. And the fact I said that outside of the screen, there wasn't anything reported that I said that we know, because we don't really know the man, but that was brought to the light that was a concern around his behavior or whatever, that they could try to tarnish his name. So because that's what happened with Kobe, right? The man wasn't even in the ground.
Facts, and not even 24 hours, right? Exactly.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
So it's so yeah. So I mean, that's what I said. It's a huge loss. That's why I say I keep saying it's not just that we lost a man. It's the reason his image, his his legacy. For days on, we can still play his movie and see what a great role and a great message the movie had. You know what I'm saying? And I also want to touch on about the movie Black Panther, right, with the females, right? Because I mean, right, we know T'Challa was a guy in the movie, but I have a daughter. So she loves Black Panther as well, but not just Black Panther. She loves the women of Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? So it for me, it means a lot to me because, my daughter have baby dolls or dolls, whatever, right? Now, me personally, when I buy them, I'm sorry, they're all black. Sorry. And then I get an attitude. This is me personally, people. This Twins Inc. Me personally. When my daughter has a white doll, I'm like, whoa, what's this? Where does this come from? Because, I mean, if there's a study on YouTube where they sat kids down, black kids, white kids, right, and they ask them which one's the whatever child, and they pick the white doll. I'm like,
which one is not smart, which one is bad.
Exactly.
And they both times identified the black doll as something having some negative characteristics.
Exactly. And with me personally, I don't raise, there's no racism in this house. I don't teach my kids to hate nobody, right? But I do teach my kids self-love. So the fact that, she wanted to be, I could be saying this wrong, and she probably going to get me, or somebody going to get me, but my daughter for Halloween, she dressed up, well, we won't be sad about Halloween, but like school stuff, whatever. She dressed up as Nakia. I think that's the one that was his girlfriend. I could be wrong, but she dressed up as her. And then she got the toys for the Black Panther, the girl toys. She got the little hoops and stuff. So that it's pretty cool, and they still love it. And then we got a little handshake, like kind of forever, and we still do it now. The movie's what 3 years old now. We still do it to this day.
Yeah.
And then as my daughter, she can see that women are strong too. You know what I'm saying? She can see firsthand, and when she get older, she'll understand more of the movie. But in that movie, there was nothing that downgraded or made the black woman look bad in that movie at all.
I mean, to be very honest, that, like I said, that could be a completely another subject.
Uh-huh.
But the power of that, right? So you never really have seen, except for, oh my goodness, I'm going to mix this up, which is why it's escaping me now. You have only one other movie where I have seen where there's an all-female army, right? And for black women especially, where it shows that you could still be very much feminine. They were still very feminine. They were still women, but they were strong, and that they were protecting the king. Broke down so many stereotypes in one movie. I mean, the movie challenged a lot of things, but especially when it came to like females and black women. Lupita's role in it, of course, was, she wasn't the damsel in distress. She was like, yeah, let me get him, she was out there with him, and so it, like you said, it just reinforced that you don't have to be one or the other, that you could be both, that you could be who you are, be strong, and be feminine, and that it challenged those traditional stereotypes of what usually play, especially in superhero movies.
Right.
For even for my girl, help me out here. One is her bracelet.
Okay.
The superhero.
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, yes. Wonder Woman, in my opinion, every time I see her, I'm like, not what I would imagine for Wonder Woman.
Right.
But it appeals to a certain thing when it comes to women, right?
Right.
It's more about aesthetics, right? So yes, she's strong and she can do all these things, but how she looks didn't look to me like what a Wonder Woman would look like, based on historically who she is and what she does.
Right.
And so to see in Black Panther, like I said, they pushed past those kind of traditional representation of women in superhero movies and these type of movies, that I thought that was dope too. And if it to be black women, it was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Especially when she took the wig off and threw it and was like, oh, like.
Finally take this off. Y'all can relate to that one. Get comfortable.
Yes.
Like, woo, take it off.
Yeah.
Woo.
Let me get this. Yeah. You know, nothing against people who wear wigs. But
no,
the
not
point
at all.
was that we should be comfortable with whichever way that we look. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think that was super dope.
Right. You know, she won't ring. She's still fine though. I was watching her on Walking Dead. You know, I mean, I had a little mixed feelings about that, her and Rick, but that's a whole nother conversation. But she was still, she was still bad in that. You know what I'm saying, with the sword, and she didn't play. So, but yeah. Just like I said, iconic movie. If you're black and you're watching this, I don't know where you've been in the last 3 years, but you need to watch it. Matter of fact, watch it today with your family, with your kids, again, and the other movies. Marshall, 21 Bridges, The Five Bloods, all of that. Watch them.
I watched Marshall actually on what plane I was going somewhere. And that's when I was like, I didn't know that he was in this. And my mother actually was the one who told me that she watched it on a plane ride. And she was like, no, it's really good. It's really, really good. And the thing that why we need these type of movies, because, you know, you've ever heard me talk about this, the slave movies, I think I've had my fill, right? I've had my fill of the slave movies. It's like, we get it. We were slaves.
Facts.
We need more movies where they're not low-budget biopics. We need biopics on the levels of Malcolm X. That Malcolm X production, I mean, that's a different story. But, like, that level of production, that level of marketing, that level of respect behind it, because we need to see that we are, yes, that is part of our history. Slavery is definitely part of our history. We cannot deny it or denounce it. I mean, we can denounce it but not deny it. But that there are also people like Jackie Robinson and James Brown and Thurgood Marshall that should be celebrated and represented in a quality way, not some low budget film that nobody's going to see,
right,
played by some people that, you know, just was like happy to be here,
right,
you know, but that we get quality actors like Chadwick to represent and show people, because I'm sure, like, I think even in one of the interviews, I think Angelique, he said she didn't even really know that much about Thurgood Marshall, but the movie gave her so much information that she otherwise wouldn't have known about somebody as iconic as Thurgood Marshall, you know?
That's
so
facts.
It is important that we have these movies. It's important that, like I said, that who they cast and who plays them matters, that we pay a lot of attention to them. And like I said, bigger than just, like I said, I've reached the quota of slave movies.
Yeah, I don't watch them.
No,
I don't watch them either, so I understand. Because I mean, at this point now, it's like a trigger when I watch it now. I just don't feel like doing with it. I know that happened, but I don't have to keep seeing it. You don't have to. I don't have to keep reliving it.
You gotta keep showing how y'all was breaking these black men back. You know, I'm good.
No, well, we're good on that. I'm good on that. Let's keep moving.
Show me how Thurgood Marshall went up against the government, that went up against the United States of America. Yeah, I want to see that. Because
what was
that empowers me, just in the same way that a black superhero says to a kid, like, so I can be a superhero. That person looks like me. Okay.
Right. Yes.
You know, and is strong. He's not a villain. He's not a criminal. They're not putting him in handcuffs. You know, so in the same way, those are the images that we need more of. Yes,
I agree. I mean, there's another movie that came out that I think it had Samuel Jackson and I want to say Aaron Mackey. It was the bank movie. I can't think of it. Banker. I think it's called A Banker. But it was a story about how two black men were able to buy other banks and buy land and stuff, but they had to use a white person as the lead person. I mean, it's a true story, but the point I'm trying to make is that those are stories that we should read or see and know about and educate. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's still going to show racism and the things we had to go through, but it wasn't like watching that movie Banker. I wasn't mad at the end. I was like, that's what I'm talking about.
All right, okay. You know, I'm taking that off in my mind. Okay, the Banker.
Yeah. You can watch it. It's really good. It's not really that much of any type of race besides the words. Nothing crazy, but it was really good.
Right.
And it's a true story and how they beat the system. They still got a little jail time, but they still beat the system. But it is phenomenal and awesome. So, but it goes back to what you're saying, that we need to see more movies of Black history, but strong, powerful Black history that has meaning behind it. You know what I'm saying? Not that he was a slave, but the hurdles that you had to go through to get your whatever you was trying to do at that time. That's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not trying to spoil the movie, but the movie's really good. But when it first came out, well, it came out, but it was supposed to be in the movie theaters, but it got blackballed. You want to say, oh, no, I'm sorry. It got whiteballed. Reason why, because apparently someone on the production field had some type of child, whatever. Had nothing to do with the two actors who starred in the movie. So because that allegation came out, because it was just an allegation, nothing really came out, this allegation, the movie got pushed in the back burner and it came out quietly. But it should have been much bigger than what it was. It was kind of on the same level of Marshall. That's how good it was. So check it out when you get a chance. But people, we can wrap it up here. I mean, I think we touched on a lot of great points here, talking about the legendary, the iconic Chadwick Bosman, and I wish this something we could have gave him his roses too while he's alive. You understand what I'm saying? Which I'm sure he got it on multiple levels with all the kids and adults and people walking up to him, Wakanda forever, because that meant so much to everybody across the world. Yeah. So I know he got his roses before he passed away. No. Yeah. I mean, even we went to the college and had to speak for the kids, like, well, not kids, or teenager, young adults, whatever you want to call them. That speech was iconic.
Dope speech.
And if you don't know, people, just go on YouTube and search college, and I'll let you do the research yourself, but you'll find it. You probably see it now on people's feed.
Commencement speech. I forget what college it was, but
yeah. I know what it is, but I want the people to do their own research so they can know what it is. This is the reason why I want you to look it up and see what it is. But anyway, the man had a powerful speech, and you know what I'm saying, that it goes with his character, his image, his integrity. It matches up to the roles that he played in the movies that he is. It goes hand in hand. And once again, to lose him was a loss to the Hollywood big scene as far as Black actors, and even to the world period. I don't care how you chop it up. It was a big loss. I mean, of course, we lost, rest in peace, Cliff Robinson, legendary basketball player, passed away as well. People dying, so I'm not saying that Chad was above everybody. I'm not saying that. But it was definitely a huge loss, because I think everybody have a more connection with this person. Even though we didn't meet him personally, know him, the movie he put out and his body of work.
He's in my living room.
I mean, listen, man, he's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I got Black Panther cups and everything.
Right.
Like once I said, because I grew up loving a bunch of Spider-Mans and Batmans and all that superhero, the fact that I got a Black superhero, I went all out. I got Black Panther this, Black Panther that, everything, because why not? I see that, one, we could be a king. Two, we can be smart. We could be a great leader for a whole nation. Like, I mean, come on now. We're not nobody's sidekick. We're not on drugs. We're not vampire biting people, all that stuff.
Black Panther didn't come in quietly. Black Panther came in like, boom, and kicked the door, because they were like, not only are we going to come with a Black superhero that's a king, but we also are going to have a nation that is greater than all the other nations.
More advanced.
That they have to come to us for aid and help. And so, I mean, we didn't come through like creeping. We came through like, so we here now.
Just let y'all know, boom, what's up? How you doing?
Right.
We run stuff around here. Right. I mean, even though, even with the movie, Killmonger was in it, honestly, they both had the same thing. One was like, honestly,
another dope role by Michael Jordan.
Right, and honestly, there really was no villain in the movie. Honestly, it really wasn't. It just, if you pay attention to what's going on in the real world, because Killmonger, Michael B. Jordan, he lived the real world that we're in right now. Okay,
absolutely.
Even though Black Panther is a fictional movie, but his role was what we're living right now. As Black people, we're living that role right now. We're being shot and killed, drugs in the street, projects, all that. We're living that right now. And all he wanted to try and do is help his people take over. So, like I said, you watch the movie, there's really no villain. Only thing I dislike about the movie was like, dang, they're first cousins. That hurt me. Like, oh, they cousins, they first cousins, they fighting each other. Why? Can we just make it up? Can we kumbaya? It wasn't them, but it does go back to the sins of the fathers. So father, men, our actions do matter. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do now, it does impact the next generation. You know, this is not just Black Panther, this is period. The sins of the father does matter. So whatever we do now, we got to make sure we're conscious and we think about what we're doing, because it can impact the next generation.
And the last point on this is that, yes, they were cousins, but I think that's even more important, that so they're kin, right? And they have differing ideals as to how they should approach what's going on in Michael B. Jordan's world, right?
Facts.
It eventually comes into Wakanda, but that is exactly what we're dealing with now. Black people are not monolithic, right? And we have these differing views. We're kin because we all Black, but we still have, there's some people that are revolutionary, like, let's take this thing over. Like, okay, you hit me, I'm hitting you back, right? But then there are people like, no, that's not the way. We have to do it this way, which is more T'Challa's view. And so I think it absolutely is representative of what's happening now, and It's important that they were related, because then that shows, like, yes, we're blood, and we have a very close bond because of the blood relation, but we differ in how we feel we need to handle this situation, and that's regular. That's now.
Right now, man. Well, it was definitely a honor and blessing to speak to you more about this topic. If people want to reach out to you, how can they get to you?
Oh, on Instagram. I don't have Twitter or anything like that. Just on Instagram.
And what is your name on Instagram?
At Bodywright, BODY.
All right.
WRIGHT. That's my last name.
Hey.
Yep, at Bodywright on Instagram.
and ladies and gentlemen, like I said, she has topics weekly, and there's some great topics. I'm just, you know, she's doing her thing, and on multiple levels.
Thank you.
So check her out, people. Subscribe. Yes, and and when she had her Wednesday class on Wednesday, it's the truth too. So if you're looking for a Wednesday class, and she'll post them when she have them, but they the truth. So, you know, so I'm gonna give you your flowers now as we're speaking. So continue what you're doing, young queen, because
thank you for supporting me as always. You support all the stuff I do.
You hear that, people? You hear that, people?
Yeah.
Support. I support. Don't, you know what I'm saying? We have to support each other. That's the only way we can grow and get better. So I'm a huge supporter of all my Black businesses, or all businesses, but definitely put emphasis on Black businesses as the time that we're in right now. So
absolutely.
So thank you. We'll chop it up again.
You.
No, not a problem. Anytime. So everybody, thanks for tuning in to Twinsinc Talk. Next week we'll be back again, and stay tuned for the next topic. We out.
Later.
That's a wrap today for the show. Please like, share, comment, share your thoughts. Email us at info@twinsinc.net. You can also subscribe to us on these multiple platforms: Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Castbox, Podcast Addict, and of course YouTube if you want to see us do the live recording. So once again, thank you.